Hello once again. As always, we're here to discuss a new release that's much greater than those that have come before. Today, we're talking about the homemade Kit AER. But wait, haven't we talked about this already? Trust me, we haven't. The Kit AER is a weapon designed for Fallout New Austin, a game-sized mod we're working on. The last time we saw the homemade Kit AER, it was a single weapon that easily fit into the Fallout 4 setting. However, we weren't entirely satisfied with it. We initially wanted the Kit AER to reflect the different areas within New Austin. The original design was inspired by the ideas found in Whataburg. With that in mind, we went ahead and added 2 new fully featured weapons, but with a small twist. These 3 weapons are actually one. All their parts are fully interchangeable. Each barrel, receiver, sight, stock, or grip works with the others. You can mix and match to your heart's content. Let's dive into what each of these components changes in a larger overview. In Fallout 4, upgrading your receiver typically does one of a few things. It decreases the weight of your weapon, changes the caliber of the bullet, or simply increases the amount of damage your weapon can deal. This usually leads players to upgrade to the highest damage output possible, which means weapons often fall into the same design and don't really feel unique. We've always disliked this, so we set out to change it. In New Austin, specifically for energy weapons, the receiver determines the type of damage the weapon deals, as well as some special effects, which we'll cover in a moment. For the Kit AER, 3 receivers will be available for now, but this may expand in the future. This is the most familiar, firing a red laser that deals energy damage along with fire damage. Think of this as the physical effect a laser in this universe would have on someone. The logical opposite, it fires a bluish laser that deals cryo damage. This idea is loosely based on real science, as all good Fallout concepts are. This receiver was born from the attempt to create a non-lethal laser variant, but instead it deals physical damage, functioning more like a concussive weapon. With these different damage types, we'll be focusing on giving specific enemies their own damage resistances and vulnerabilities, providing players with more reasons to modify and switch out their weapons. Barrels in Fallout 4 once again follow a pretty linear damage curve, along with some upgrades to weapon stability and accuracy. This too encourages players to focus on maximizing damage, resulting in similar experiences for everyone using the weapon. Barrels in New Austin will play a very different role. We're categorizing all weapons into 3 levels of power. The first level, which the Kit AER falls into, is called small caliber weapons. In this category, weapons can range from pistols to carbines, but no further. Between the pistol and the carbine is the submachine gun, SMG, and with the Kit AER, this will be achieved through different barrels. This turns the weapon into a pistol. The user will only need a pistol grip, with no hands on the barrel. This gives the weapon automatic firing, making it an SMG variant while preventing the player from creating a long-range SMG. This barrel transforms the weapon into a carbine, offering a 3x VATS multiplier, but making it more unstable due to its added weight and size. This can be compensated for with stocks. These barrels also bring subtle but important changes to the weapon that may go unnoticed by some players. Additionally, there's a synergy between barrels and receivers. This can be a bit complex, so we'll provide visual aids and gameplay demonstrations where appropriate. Each barrel style offers a different effect based on the receiver being used. Let's look at each barrel style with each receiver. When using an Eden barrel, the effects applied are meant to engulf enemies or have a lingering impact. With the Eden receiver, there's a 30% chance to ignite enemies in a powerful flame effect, dealing damage over time, often enough to finish off any human combatants. With the Univer receiver, a similar 30% chance applies, but this time, enemies are enveloped in frost, dealing cryo damage over time. With the water receiver, instead of dealing damage over time, there's a 30% chance to paralyze your opponent, leaving them vulnerable for you to finish off or flee from the fight. Univer barrels focus on creating a devastating explosion upon killing an enemy. With the Eden receiver, there's a 30% chance that when your opponent perishes, a fiery explosion will envelop their body, hurting anyone nearby. With the Univer receiver, there's a 30% chance that after killing your enemy, they will explode in a cryo explosion, freezing those around them. With the water receiver, a concussive blast will be left behind, devastating all those nearby with the same 30% chance. Water barrels are the most unique, focusing on the residual effects that different types of damage can have on a person. With the Eden receiver, the fire damage cooks their brains, causing them to frenzy against all in the area. With the Univer receiver, the cold slows down their bodies, making their movements much slower. With the water receiver, this causes enemies to drop their weapons, making them much easier to kill. All these effects have a 30% chance, just like the others. These simply increase the stability of your weapon and are mostly a style decision. Each style will have a 1.5x and a 2x reflex sight, along with 10x, 6x, and 4x scopes, allowing for personal preference on the player's part. For all these weapon upgrades, we've also added a component we're testing for New Austin. To mod these weapons, you won't be using scrap items like aluminum and steel. Instead, you'll use a new item called a mod kit. In New Austin, you'll find these throughout the world and in shops, but for now, while we test the idea, you can craft them at the chemistry station. This is in hopes of keeping inventories from getting too cluttered when modding weapons away from settlements. Please let us know what you think about this change. To find these guns, they'll appear in the leveled lists for general stores, gun stores, and on gunners and raiders after level 10. You shouldn't have any trouble finding one for yourself. If you first load into the game, make sure you've waited a few days so stores have time to restock their inventories. One last thing before I go. New Austin has been progressing well. We're working hard on it, especially on the mechanics side. Unfortunately, this makes it difficult to show things off since much of what we're working on is either meant to be secret and discovered during play, or simply wouldn't translate well to video. However, we're also working on content that doesn't fall into this category, and we'll be showing more of that soon. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!